Hi, everyone. This is going to be a Divine Feminine deep dive reading. So welcome if you are a Divine Feminine, or even if you are a Divine Masculine listening and maybe applying this to your internal Divine Feminine essence and energy, then you are so welcome here. And I hope that something from this reading helps to shed some light or some clarity on whatever it is you are experiencing right now in your life. I am really excited to do this reading because lately I've been feeling so many divine feminine specific messages flowing here on the channel, but I feel like I haven't done a collective reading that's more lengthy, that's more of a deep dive in one of our Monday, Wednesday, Friday reading videos that is specifically for the divine feminine. So I'm really excited to be doing this. If this content resonates with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you get notified whenever I post new videos like this. So let's go ahead and jump right into the messages. Now, this is one of those readings where I don't really know what's going to be coming through here. So I'm going to be leaving things a bit more open-ended, and we are just going to see what wants to come up here. It's funny because I stumbled over my words there, and I got that there's a message in that around communication and how you are increasingly going to be noticing that people who are on a different frequency from you are going to struggle to communicate with you, and vice versa. You are going to struggle to communicate with someone who's on a very different frequency level than you. And I'm visualizing someone who is listening to someone speak and trying to follow their words or the conversation, but just almost feeling like they are not hearing them clearly or missing things that they're saying, or there's this mismatch, this rift in the conversation. And I'm getting that this person is introspecting about this and wondering, is something wrong with me? Am I just not fully listening or participating in this conversation, or could I do something differently here? And I'm getting that this person is just almost confused why these communication issues are happening, especially if they're happening in the form of you trying to communicate something, and on your end, you're saying it clearly, but the other person is, for some reason, I heard jumping to conclusions. Maybe you have people finishing your sentences, cutting you off, jumping to conclusions about what you're saying. And I'm hearing sometimes it's the opposite of what you're actually saying or what you're trying to say. And this can be very frustrating, but also confusing. And what I'm getting is this isn't something that you're doing or something that you could change or do differently. This is about a frequency difference between you and these individuals. And because of, I'm hearing the frequency gap, it's difficult for you to fully communicate with each other, even when you are standing in the same room, face to face, talking to each other. I'm also definitely picking up on the energy of someone specific. This won't be for everyone. As I say with all of these readings, I do channel into many different people and situations. So always, always, always use your intuition and only take what resonates for you personally. Of course, your intuition really is your highest guide in this life. And it's my goal in these readings to help to connect you more with the intuitive voice within yourself, but there may be things at times that don't connect for you. So there may be one specific person here who feels almost a bit, I want to say, frustrated at you because they feel like you have cut them off, or you are not consistently interacting with them or consistently communicating with them. But the thing about this person is they're on a very low vibrational frequency, and I see them struggling with a lot of heavy emotional patterns at this time. But what I'm getting is it's not the fact that they are struggling with those patterns that is keeping the two of you disconnected. Because when someone is struggling, but they are willing to introspect and they want to be on a journey of self-betterment and they want to understand these patterns on a deeper level and find agency within those patterns, find ways to shift them, that's a frequency of openness and authenticity, even though they may be dealing with some heavy or low vibrational things. So in that case, you still would be able to connect with this person and communicate with them. It's the inauthenticity, the refusal to look at certain things or certain parts of the self, trying to bypass things, that actually creates the frequency rift. And I feel like there's some kind of message in that for you. Like, you are coming into a place where you are so authentic, and that is the energy that you emanate. And so when someone is being inauthentic to you, whether they are doing that intentionally or unintentionally, because often it is unconscious and unintentional, but even if it is unintentional, their lack of authenticity, I'm hearing lack of congruency, almost like what they're presenting isn't congruent to what they are actually feeling or experiencing internally, that they themselves may not even want to look at or face. But regardless, there's this lack of congruency that you are picking up on, and it's creating a dissonance that is making it very fuzzy in a way. Like, it's making the signal fuzzy when they are trying to communicate with you or when you're trying to communicate with them, because that signal is trying to get through this wall of dissonant energy. And so what I'm getting is this person coming up, they're struggling, but they've been trying to bypass that struggle and not even really look at it or make changes. And so that has led to a rift between the two of you. And in this specific case, I don't even feel like, for many of you, I feel like you didn't even consciously set a boundary with this person or consciously like push them out of your life. It's just that you're really no longer being connected because your energies are so different. It's like you're not even trying to avoid them, but the universe is causing you to naturally avoid them and not connect with them or feel inspired to reach out to them or to spend time with them as much or to communicate with them as much. And it's not because you're being intentionally malicious. It's literally because of this frequency rift. And so if this person were to be, and I'm actually hearing they may have even tried to, I'm hearing to signal to you that they were making changes, like to tell you, oh, I'm bettering my life, or I'm changing my life, or I'm doing this or that. But it's almost like they were trying to signal those things to you without actually committing fully internally to the work. And so even though they may have been saying these things to you on the surface, the frequency still just wasn't there. And so you were being led kind of like away from each other in a sense. This could be a friend, a family member, could be a romantic person, absolutely doesn't have to be. But I just feel a frustration from this person, especially because they've been trying to signal to you and say, hey, look, I've done this and that. I've changed my life in this and that way. Like, I've started this new habit. But what I'm getting is like their frequency still hasn't shifted. They haven't really fully committed to those changes. That's not to say that they won't do that, but it's almost like they're still in that mode of doing it for show or doing it so that you will see them changing or you will think that they're changing, and then you'll want to talk to them more or be around them more or connect with them more. But it doesn't work that way. I'm hearing you can't fake the frequency. And ultimately, that's what they're realizing, that they can't put on or fake this frequency of authenticity and openness and positive shifts and changes, that they can't like make you believe that they're making those changes intellectually and then force more connectedness with you. It doesn't work that way. They have to really truly be committed to the changes for themselves and for the long haul. And I don't feel like their energy has really shifted into that place of complete commitment yet to the positive changes that they're saying they're making in their life. I saw a letter. Maybe this person wrote you a letter or a note. Something about the mail was coming up here. So I know that was a bit random. I don't know who that's for, but I'm just hearing to trust your instincts and to trust where you're being guided, but specifically when you establish yourself, especially in the morning, in a high vibrational place through whatever morning routines or rituals or whatever you do, be sure that you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to go where you are feeling inspired, where you're feeling an inspired urge to go, rather than forcing yourself to connect with people and things that feel very resistant to you, that feel very like off to you. Even if you don't fully understand why they're off, you're going to find that in this phase of your life, you're being asked to radically trust your intuition about people and things before the evidence comes in. But on the flip side of that, you're also going to notice a lot of evidence coming in to confirm to you how correct and accurate your intuition is so consistently. I have to say as well, this is a bit of an aside for you, Divine Feminine, but I don't think ever in the history of this channel have I ever felt so much positive momentum building for you. And I truly mean that. I feel that every time I tap into the Divine Feminine polarity, especially recently, I've just been feeling like you are undergoing the greatest activation. Well, in a recent video, I called it your biggest breakthrough, like the biggest breakthrough of your life. And that really doesn't even feel like an overstatement. I truly feel like this marks the biggest breakthrough of your life, and it's happening now. I mean, these videos are timeless. All of them are. So whenever you find these videos, they're meant for you, but especially if you're watching this around the time it's posted, I feel even more strongly that this is for you and that there is a breakthrough underway right now in your life. I'm hearing things are going to start shifting in your life that you thought would never shift, that you thought were unsolvable problems. And you may already be seeing this happening. Things that you had blind faith in, that you really had no idea like how it was going to happen, but you had blind faith. And I'm hearing something about the moment of surrender. So there's something about how there are certain problems or issues or challenges or obstacles that had been points of anxiety or fear in your field for a while that you may have ruminated on or felt uncertain about. But I'm hearing there was this moment recently where you just suddenly felt calm, where you suddenly surrendered and gave up the struggle and gave up trying to solve things through the mind. And you finally said to yourself, I surrender this. I am good. I am okay. No matter what happens here, I am letting this go. I am choosing peace. I am choosing to let go of the ruminating, the needing to solve. I'm going to just surrender this. And I feel that moment of surrender was so powerful for you. But in a sense, I'm getting like, did the chicken or the egg come first kind of messaging coming up here? Because it's like, did the surrender come first and then you are now having the manifestation of the breakthrough because you surrendered? Or on some level, were you precognizant of the fact that the solution was coming, which allowed you to more easily surrender? Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on that. Which came first, the surrender or the knowingness that the solution was on the horizon? If you've been experiencing this dynamic as a Divine Feminine, I'm very curious how this felt for you, how it was processed for you, because I'm feeling so strongly like this moment of deep peace, of deep surrender, and then suddenly, boom, there's like a massive breakthrough where, and I get it's not even just one area of your life. It's like in general, solutions just come pouring in. I'm hearing answers to questions you weren't even consciously asking, but may have been kind of subconsciously asking. Solutions to problems that you hadn't even really considered or thought about that just come in out of nowhere. Solutions to things that you may have felt were problems from years ago that you felt would never be solved, that like suddenly come to the surface with a random solution that causes everything to work out perfectly. The one phrase that kept coming in for you, Divine Feminine, and this has been recurring in my mind for at least a week now, is it's all coming up roses. And I had never really used this phrase too much in my personal life, but I wanted to share with you, because I had looked this up before, so I'm looking it up again, the meaning of this phrase, because the verbatim meaning was so much more significant than what I even imagined in my mind. So it's all coming up roses means everything is going wonderfully, turning out successfully and perfectly, often unexpectedly, with a sense of flourishing and good fortune. Now, it's interesting as well because it didn't show up in that definition, but in my previous definition, I must have searched something slightly differently. I wanted to share that one form of definition of this phrase is actually a period of success and abundance after a challenging time. So I almost feel as though I'm speaking to a collective that went through a lot of challenge, especially maybe in 2025, if you're watching this around the beginning of 2026, or this past year, regardless of when you're watching. I feel as though you have come out of a period of time where you were struggling a lot, but I'm hearing a lot of it was happening internally, like mentally and emotionally. I feel like you were fighting battles. You were having internal struggles that no one was aware of. And there was this isolation within that because you often felt as though there were so few people that you could even really talk to about those struggles in the external world. I'm hearing, this is my battle to fight. Yeah, you may have had an awareness that like intermixing other people's opinions or energies into the so-called battle would only make things more difficult for you. It would only like amplify the problem frequency. And so it's like your intuition was guiding you to keep a lot of these things to yourself or to a very small inner circle of trusted people, because you didn't want to get too many people involved in these battles that were going on in your mind. You knew this was something that you needed to resolve from within your own energy, but it was very difficult. And I'm getting like, again, all of a sudden, it's like you surrender the fight and the solution starts pouring in. And that's what I see happening for you now. I get the vision of a wheel turning, and it's not been turning for so long, or even been turning in the wrong direction. And suddenly everything is starting to turn for you in the right direction, whatever right means for you, because of course we all have different definitions of what that looks like. I'm also hearing your most successful era yet. And I'm definitely picking up on someone who almost wondered, like, have I reached the end of some kind of specific timeline? Like, have I progressed? I'm hearing, have I capped out? Have I reached my limit? Have I have I already peaked? That's the word I was looking for. It's almost like someone here feels like concerned that they've somehow already peaked in some way, whether it's in their business, their finance, their career, maybe like your life generally, but your guides and your ancestors want you to know you've only been getting started. Like everything you've been through, and I don't care, how old you are in terms of earth years or earth age, that's all irrelevant. Whoever you are watching this video, whatever you've considered to be quote unquote your peak in the past has only been the beginning. It's only been the training ground. It's like life is really just beginning to open up for you. Things are really just starting to turn in the right direction. And it's almost like the complete opposite of how your mind may be lying to you, telling you like, what if we've already maximized our potential and now we're like on some kind of decline? Or what if we've already peaked in some way? But it's the exact opposite. Everything you've gone through so far was really just training you for now, for the way that your life is about to open up, which is going to be in a bigger way than you have ever experienced and really ever could have even imagined consciously, but your soul could imagine it. Like on a deeper subconscious level, you always had an awareness of this potential. And that's why your soul has always felt restless your entire life. I spoke on this in a recent mini reading as well. By the way, subscribe for daily mini readings here on the channel. I've been doing daily videos and will continue to do them through 2026. But you have had a soul that has refused to settle into any specific timeline. For some of you, maybe even any specific community or friendship or relationship. And the reason for this isn't because you're being avoidant or something like that. It's because you on a soul level have always had a sense of just how big the purpose is for you, just how big the vision is for you. Even if you couldn't imagine it consciously, you could feel it subconsciously. You could feel the vastness of it. You could feel how groundbreaking it is, not just for you, but for collectives that you are actually leading through and into those same breakthroughs. You are here to be a leader, to lead the way into a new earth consciousness, a new way of being, of living, of loving oneself. And you've always known that on a deeper level, and you've not been willing to compromise that for anything. Nor should you, because this is the purpose of your soul. This is why you are here. And I just feel like I even wrote in my journal today, and suddenly the fog lifts. And I feel almost like you may get the sense that you've been in some sort of fog for a while, where a lot of things haven't quite felt clear, where you've been sort of just having to trust your instincts and feeling your way in the dark or in this dense fog. But then all of a sudden I see the sun peeking through and the fog starting to clear and lift, and you are met with this sense of clarity and a knowingness of, I'm hearing exactly how to move forward. That's what you might get in the form of this breakthrough, is like internal guidance or instructions, or just a sense of how to move forward with something after a period of time where it felt very stuck or very stagnant, or where you really didn't know how to move forward, or if you even could or ever would again. But you were only being prepared for this moment where now things are becoming clear, and you may suddenly receive new ideas or inspiration as to how to start stepping forward in a particular endeavor, or in your career, or with your business, whatever this is for you. And it's going to look different from person to person. But again, I keep getting the message of trusting those inspired impulses. I think I journaled them as aligned impulses this morning for you, Divine Feminine. So I got something about orange juice for someone. I'm not sure why. I am going to reshuffle. Well, I should say shuffle, not really reshuffle, since we haven't pulled the card yet in this reading. But I'm also going to take a quick sip of my coffee here, and we're going to see what else wants to come up for you in this reading. I know we've just kind of been free-flowing channeling at the beginning of this session. Let me know in the comments what's connected so far, as well as anything you'd like to share about your personal journey. One of my favorite aspects of our whole channel and this whole community is sharing our experiences and cross-motivating each other on this path. So thank you for being part of that. Thank you for being a valuable co-creator here on the channel. So let me take that sip of my coffee. I heard the word wait. Wait. Maybe someone needs to wait on something, or I don't know how this applies. Let's see if we can get some clarification. What is this wait word that's coming out here? Door to romance reversed. Oh, okay. So someone has been put on hold in love or romantically, or feels like they're being told to wait romantically in some sense, to maybe pause. The interesting thing about this word wait is it's obviously not a hard no. It's not saying this is never going to happen. It's not saying avoid this completely. It's saying something about this timing isn't right, and your intuition knows it. If this message in the reading is for you, there's something that, like, I'm hearing your mind has been pulling you forward, but your soul and your intuition have been telling you to pause. And it's very important that you listen to that soul feeling of needing to pause or needing to wait. I'm hearing not creating timelines or deadlines in the mind, but trusting the timing of your heart and your soul, and trusting that when the time is right, and more specifically, when things are in alignment and the energy is aligned, you're going to feel an impulse to move forward that will be inevitable, that will pull you forward. But for now, there's something about giving yourself permission to wait or to pause. I'm also picking up something about external expectations and opinions, and it being very important for you to pay no mind to how other people or society might perceive your choice to pause here, or your choice to wait. Because, and I'm seeing a bluebird in a cage, that might be significant to someone. Maybe you've been caged in some way and you're like finding your freedom, or you're freeing your voice, like bird song or something. Anyway, what else can I heard bird watching. Maybe it's like others are watching you share your voice or free yourself or something of that nature. Okay, so what can I share about waiting? What does someone need to wait for? Walking away. I'm hearing it's not cleaned up yet. Interesting. I don't know what this is. For some of you, I feel this may be a person romantically that you have had an interest in, or that you have had strong feelings for, or that you've wanted to move forward with, but their energy hasn't been clean. in the sense that I see someone washing their hands, like they haven't washed their hands of something. They haven't fully left something in their past and it's lingering on their energy. And I'm hearing closure. It's like they have to close some kind of open loop on their energy before you can move forward with them cleanly without like picking up whatever that other energy is. And that's why it doesn't seem like this is something to do with the person themselves. I'm hearing it's what's attached to them, or maybe who. Maybe there's an energy of someone from their past that they haven't really fully cut ties with or moved forward from. I just keep getting there's some way that something in their energy field needs to be cleaned up, and it seems to involve some kind of walking away before you can feel comfortable in your intuition, in your heart, in your soul, moving forward with them in some kind of sense. If this is a like romantic person, like a masculine energy in your life. Now, of course, keep in mind when I channel into the masculine and feminine, these are meant to apply to energy dynamics, not to specific genders. So we all have a balance of both internally. Take those labels however they resonate or leave them if they don't. But I feel like your mind, if this is a person, your mind wants to move forward with them, but your intuition is telling you to pause or to slow down. And it's very important you listen to your intuition because there's something that isn't cleaned up in this person's energy. And I'm getting you feel it every time you're around them. I'm getting the word conflicted. So it may be making you feel very conflicted. I'm seeing something about the month of April. That could be someone's birth month here. But I'm getting you feel conflicted because of the strong feelings that you may have for this person, especially if it is romantic, and yet this sense that you have that you can't move forward with them until their energy feels clean and feels clear to you. I do feel that like this is someone who's very focused on you. I feel a lot of good energy from them, steadiness, warmth, but I just feel like there's something that they are trying to brush off that is affecting their energy, something that they may be trying to procrastinate or kind of sweep under the rug in some sense, that I'm hearing you may have already called this to their attention. You're coming up here, Divine Feminine, as the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so you're someone who's deeply energetically and emotionally sensitive. And what this means, I got the letter initials H-E-R, even O, almost like spelling the word hero. You're the page, or no, you are the Queen of Pentacles. But what this means is that because you're so energetically sensitive and emotionally nurturing by nature, anyone that you bring into your inner circle, into your very, very close connections, or who is very close to you or very intimately connected to you, they are very intertwined with you in a sense, energetically. So I'm definitely picking up on a Divine Feminine who is highly, highly selective about who she allows into that deeper inner circle. And it's very important for her to be that way because of this level of energetic sensitivity. It's like your greatest gift that you have to give within these connections is also the biggest reason that you have to be so selective about who you allow to fill those connections. Because the gift is that you are naturally very nurturing. Someone connected to you will feel that nurturing spirit. It will automatically uplift them. I'm hearing something about a promotion, maybe a promotion at work, but it will naturally like elevate their energy in a way that causes them to feel more nurtured, that causes them to even magnetize in new opportunities or like emanate a different energy to other people that they meet or connect with, even like professionally. But it's a result of you and your energy being so connected to them. So that's a massive gift that you give to people connected to you. But on the other side of that equation, this also means that when someone's connected to you in that way, you are very easily affected by what is going on in their field, especially any negative or lower vibrational attachments they may have. So when someone that's part of your close circle has a very negative energy attachment, even if they themselves are oblivious to it or seem to be unaffected by it, you are so sensitive that it will still affect you. And that's what I feel is going on with this person. I feel that if this is a masculine, this attachment feels like it could be a karmic feminine, like some kind of binding legal obligation or just something they haven't fully found closure with or cleared out of their energy entirely. Or this could be a karmic feminine who just has like prying eyes on them or is still like clinging to them. For some reason, I'm seeing like long nails and like someone clinging to someone's energy. And I feel like on the surface, this masculine may have already walked away physically from this person or situation, but there's something that's still attaching them to this person, whether it's like a legal binding, like some kind of agreement, whether it's maybe something just emotional or energetic that they haven't cleared out of their field. I also get the sense of this karmic feminine still feeling like they have control over this masculine. This doesn't have to be a romantic karmic. This could be, for example, a family member, a friend, just someone from their past. So again, it doesn't have to be romantic, but I feel as though there's some kind of false front being put up here. And I get that it's almost like the karmic feminine putting up a false front. It's like they're acting on the surface like they're letting this masculine go, letting them be free, letting them move forward. But all the while, they still have like their claws in them, so to speak, or there's still some kind of energetic like bind between the two of them, this negative attachment. And again, it's not the masculine's core original energy. It's not really their energy. It's what is attached to them. And that's what I feel you are picking up on that's kind of muddying the situation in a sense. And so I just feel that the message coming up is it's very important to be in tune with the timing of your intuition, to not go against your own heart here, and to be sure that you feel comfortable before you take any steps forward with this person, that you feel they are really connecting to you from a clear, clean place, because that's the level of respect that your soul deserves. And so I'm going to close this first reading here, but I'm going to be continuing this to the extended reading. So we're going to take a closer look at this karmic feminine, the nature of this energetic bond or attachment here on this masculine, as well as their core energy, because like I said, it feels like it's very separate from their original personal energy and the potential bond between the two of you as well. We will also be channeling into any other masculine energies that may be connecting with you either romantically, platonically, or otherwise, as well as any messages from your spirit guides, your higher self, or any divine forces you personally connect with. So for all of those additional details and pieces of information, you can join me in the extended reading by clicking the link in the pinned comment or description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I'm going to leave the reading here. Subscribe if this connected for you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what resonated. And I am wishing you an amazing remainder of your day. I will connect with you here again in the next reading.